Death Watch.
Go for it.
Okay, so as I'd said, you crested the staircase and it ended abruptly and transitioned to a long wooden platform. Has these short, crude brick walls on either side that's missing in some places. The wood feels extremely hard under your feet. And once again, you get the light breeze that seems to come from all directions, and then darkness every which way, except for to the east, roughly parallel to the end of this platform. There's a light you see far below and off to the east a little bit. So, and then the other thing you'd seen was about midway of this platform, there's a body clutching what looks to be some paper or parchment. And from where you're at, you can't tell how they died. They're laying face down, but you can see that it was a very small person of a size with Valster Vindall, which was the halfling you guys had met in the past. And that corpse lies in front of a wide hole in the platform, and that's what you see. So before we say what we want to do, let's quickly tab up, write down your experience from the last couple of sessions. It's not enough to level up, so we'll just, you each receive 2,875 experience for the previous session's adventures. And there you have it. What do you do?
Does it look like, from where we're at, and does it look like this is an older corpse or a fresher corpse?
No, from where you're at, you can't really tell. You don't see any signs of any sort of degradation from where you're at. Like there's no clear sign of desiccation or rot or bloating or anything like that.
Is there any blood on the wood?
Not from where you're standing. You don't see any blood.
Okay, I'll ask. Who was leading us this time? Was it Rohan or Casimir?
Well, Rohan's in front.
Or I'm sorry, I meant Graham. I don't know why.
Both me and Casimir heading up the stairs at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll ask. Well, is there enough room for me to squeeze through?
Oh yeah, you can move through an ally's space.
I can't move my token, but I'd like to. Yeah.
Okay.
Go up there and examine the body. Do you want me to do just looking for see if I can find what killed him?
Okay. What do the rest of you want to do?
I'll move up near the body too, next to Fenrith. Keep an eye out while he's examining it.
Okay.
I'm gonna slowly make my way along the left side of the whatever this is, kind of trying to just test it as I move forward. Make sure it's not going to collapse underneath.
Okay. And Graham, what do you want to do?
I'll trail behind Rohan and still trying to cool down a little bit, get myself centered.
All right, so we'll say you get to about here, and you're about here, and you're calming down a little bit now, Graham. You don't have that irritation that you had before, and you've caught your breath. So, okay, so Fenrith, go ahead and roll a heal check.
You want in the tower or no?
No, go ahead, just roll it. Okay. All right, so you don't see any wounds on his back. So you go to roll him over to check, and as you do, this small rock rolls out from under him, and then it just detonates, and you all hear the loudest sound you've ever heard in your life. So everybody but Graham, roll a fortitude save.
Are you seeing that? Because it's rolling, but it's not posting my result.
No.
No, we're not seeing it.
There we go.
Okay, 1 second then. All right, so yeah, this stone rolls out and explodes, and Casimir.
Can I do a reflex to jump on it?
No. Grenade. No, you can't. So this is a deafening sound that splits your ears. So Casimir, you are deafened.
It looks like you added that to the Raven.
Yeah, I did. But anyway, I'll add it to Casimir here. So you just straight can't hear anything. But the rest of you, it hurts your ears, but you can still hear after the ringing stops. So yeah, that's what happens there. Now, as you get them pulled over and you're holding your ears trying to stop the pain, Fenrith, you can see a large wound center mass right where his heart would be, though there's no weapon remaining. It looks to you like a sword, like a stab wound from a large blade. And then he's still clutching that parchment.
Okay, so I'll. There wasn't any. Did it look like there was anything that any damage actually done by the stone, like physical damage? Looking around.
No, just sound.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and grab that that parchment and then kind of motion everybody back towards Graham, so try and check up on him.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so after that explosion and you pick up that parchment, the platform that you're standing on begins to rumble really violently. And as you're turning back to look towards Graham, all of you guys headed in that direction, you can see that staircase that you came up on just crumbles and falls away, leaving nothing but blackness in that direction as well. And that there you are on this platform.
Well,
All right.
We can only go forward.
Yeah, I'll do a quick check over on everybody and just see make sure that they're all right.
Yeah, nobody seems to have taken any wounds, but like when you talk to Casimir, you can clearly tell that he can't hear you, and he's got a little blood coming out of his ears.
What?
Yeah, so he's like, I can't hear you, stuff like that.
Okay. Maybe we should see what this thing says. And since this this guy was obviously booby trapped, and maybe you, Graham or Rohan, should take the lead, and I will just tell you if I want to investigate something so you can check it, because I'm definitely not very good at finding traps.
Huh?
I'll check out that parchment.
Right. So it's you can tell that it was ripped out of something because the edges are all torn. But it says in common, all this way and stymied at the end. No way to reach the tower off the eastern edge. I think I can actually feel the poison as it moves through me. Yondala, forgive me. And the rest is too obscured by grime and blood and, sweat or tears or whatever. So you can't make it out, but that's the part you can make out.
Is there any bit of this parchment that I could use to write on at all?
Yeah, you could write on the back of it.
Okay, I will write to Rohan to Casimir that if his hearing isn't returned, that we can use this to communicate.
Oh, okay. Your handwriting's too bad, and Casimir can't read it.
This is worse than not being able to hear you.
No, just kidding. Yeah, you get the message across to him.
I'll nod.
And then I'll let everybody examine the parchment if they want to.
Yeah. So anybody else who looks at it, that's what you see the same thing. That's what it says.
Do we want to, I guess, continue on, or?
Yeah, do we see that tower off in the distance?
Yeah, because there's a light on it.
All right.
So it stands out in the darkness.
You're looking pretty tired, huh, Finrith?
Yeah, I'm pretty worn out. And if that note is really any indication of that tower, then
What?
I'm not sure.
Divvy up the potions. And I'll go this way and start checking out that tower more. Or the void in between, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a little deceptive on this map that you're looking at. It's not as far away as that. It's probably about 10 feet and then down. But it looks like well over 100 feet down.
How much rope do we have? I had 50 feet. Did anyone else have any?
Hang on. Sorry. Closer to, as you can basically guess, it'd be closer to 500 feet down.
Okay, I can make it down there. I don't know about how to get the rest of you down, though.
Yeah, you might want to be careful. If WoW has taught me anything, feather falling to a lower location is harder than it looks.
Yeah, and it's usually a bad idea, but it may be our only option right now.
The bag of holding has 600 feet of rope in it.
Yeah, so we have rope in the bag of holding. Also, what is everybody's potion count?
I'd say just divvy up what we got and give the lion's share of it, like any leftover, to Graham. And
No. No, Graham just takes them when he's thirsty.
yeah, but chances are up ahead he's going to be thirsty and wounded. Well, fine, give him to Rohan, and Rohan can heal Graham.
All right. Well, all we have in there right now is 3 cure moderate because we divvied them up the last time.
All right.
So I have 2 cure moderate on me. What do you have on you?
You guys take the 3. Go for that. Bust out that 500 feet of rope, and someone tie a knot around me.
All right. I'll ask Graham to tie the rope, and I'll hand some off to him.
Okay. So what, Graham, he's asking you to tie a knot around Casimir.
Yeah, I will do that.
All right, go ahead and roll your use rope.
And I'll try to show Graham the type of knot I want. I want kind of something that I can feed the rope through, type of thing, where I can hold a good bulk of it in one hand and kind of feed it through, like
Okay.
Like mountain climber type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so you sign language him a bit, but he's good with rope, and he picks
gets
up
it.
what you're saying, and he ties it the way you want.
All right. So, all right, you guys hold on to this end. I'll go down and see if I can swing out.
All right. I'll hang on to a bit of the rope as well.
All right.
Yeah, help steady it as well.
Same.
Okay.
I'm almost wondering, before we do that, do you think that it would be more beneficial to get the rope, try and like swing it from
You cut out, John.
So go from like this area here, try and swing it around up through this hole, and then tie it off again. That way we have a pretty secure mounting for it.
Well, you better start writing quick because Casimir's about to go over the edge.
I'll write wait and then show you that, and then I'll scribble out my idea and put a question mark at the end. And for Rohan and Graham, do you think that that's a good idea? What's your vote towards it?
But we have, if it's about 500 feet down.
Because we have 600 feet of rope in the bag of holding right now.
All right. But it is a longer, I'd have to swing out longer.
That's true. Okay, never mind. Let's go ahead and we'll give this a run.
Okay. All right. So you step out over the edge there, and you start climbing, and they're holding onto this rope, and they're feeding you down. But it takes quite a long time to get 500 feet down.
They're not feeding me down. I'm feeding myself down. They're holding on to like just enough rope to hold on to. I have the rest of it in one hand, and I'm kind of doing it that way.
I see.
So that way I just don't drop or have to worry about them. I'm feeding the rope myself.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry.
Right. Well, anyway, you get down to the end of it, and then you can see that tower more clearly.
All right.
And it's got a ring of fire in the center of it. And inside that ring of fire is a bell. Now, from your vantage point, you can see that the fire isn't really high, but it does go in a complete ring around it, the center of it.
All right. I'll start swinging and seeing if I can get a better view.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough. We'll say you get started swinging, and eventually you get closer to the tower, but you don't see any new details except that there's like a hook on the wooden support beams for this bell, and there's a hammer on it. That's the only new thing you see.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll climb back up and I'll tell them there's a bell trapped in fire with a hammer, but I don't see anything else over there.
You didn't notice any type of? Well, maybe the bell's magic and extends another platform, kind of like the stairs. Maybe, I don't know.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, by now, because deafened lasts for an hour, so by now you're starting to be able to hear again.
Okay. But I think Rohan probably had the right idea. I think we tie some to him and see if he can float out there.
Okay.
Although, if it's a ring of fire, would we want the hero of the flame to go?
Well, then give him the ring. But swinging out there, I don't quite think is going to work. I just wanted to kind of scout it. I'm not seeing anything down there other than the bell.
How far is it?
500 feet down, like 45 feet out. But I think Brand said 10 feet out.
Yeah, it's only about 10 feet out. So, it's not hard to get swinging enough to be able to land on it. But as for the fire, it was probably about knee high. So it's easily something that could be jumped over.
Okay. Yeah, I can try and jump to the middle of the ring of fire too.
Yeah, you're still going to want a rope on you, though.
Just in case you overshoot.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Well, you can sense of adventure the void if you want.
Just
You do that
remember the
anytime.
waterfall, though.
Yeah, that's why I got the ring of featherfall.
Yeah, it took me a second to realize that when I watched or listened to the last episode. I was like, wonder if that's why he gave him that ring.
But yeah, I'll tie the ring around myself, or the rope with Graham's help, and then I'll prepare to make the jump.
Okay. All Okay, do another knot, Graham. Right, so, it doesn't look as intricate as the one he put on Casimir, but you tug on it and it seems like it'll do the trick. So go ahead and make a jump check, Rohan.
Oh yeah.
All right, so he steps to the platform and then he darts forward to jump, but he misjudges where the platform ends, and his last step just grazes the back of his heel, and he falls forward, and he's just waving his arms wildly. But you activate that ring of featherfall, and you start falling much more slowly, Rohan.
Should we pull him back?
I don't care as long as he at least makes it towards the platform. It doesn't look like he's going to brain himself.
Yeah, no, I mean, judging by his trajectory, he'll make the platform.
Okay, yeah, we'll just let him go.
Okay, so you slowly fall, and then you don't manage to get in the middle of the fire. You get on the edge of the tower, Rohan.
Okay. I'll try and jump over the fire. You said it was only like 3 or 4 feet, or knee high.
Like
I think you said
knee high. Yeah, it's knee high. So
So yeah, just quickly jump through it or over it.
okay, 1 second.
Kind of do that thing where you got to psych yourself up before you do something you know is probably going to hurt.
All right. Okay, can you see this map now, Rohan?
Still low. Now I can.
Okay, so that's what you see there. So go ahead. Well, like I said, the flame, it's not very high, and in the direct center you see a large bell suspended on a wooden frame surrounded by this fire, and then a golden hammer hangs from a hook on one of the wooden uprights. So you want to go ahead and you can hop over that, and you don't risk. Well, go ahead, do your jump in case you get a 0 or something. Yeah, so it's hopping over a pond, no big, or a little creek. It's no big deal. So you move over there, and then you've got this hammer on the hook.
Okay, I'll take the hammer and I'll ring the bell with it.
Okay. All right. So you hit the bell with this hammer, and it's like all of you can hear this. It's this long, beautiful gong sound, and it happens like 3 times, ding, ding, ding. And as that sound sweeps over you, you start to feel a rumble in your chest. All of you do, and you hear the sound of massive gears turning. So we'll do, yeah. Okay, so the bell tolls loud and clear and deep, and then you hear this rumble in these gears, and your platform begins to shake. Now, for you 3, you feel this platform shaking, and then you hear the gears turning, and so you look to the direction of the west where that sound is coming from, and you can see 2 towers rising into view over on this side, rising out of the darkness. Now, there's a light coming from them, which is how you can see them, but you can't determine what the source of that light is. So these towers start rising up, and then Rohan, you hear the gears turning, but it's coming from the east, and you see 2 towers rising up pretty close, rising up out of the darkness over here. So one thing that you guys notice, you other 3, is that on the eastern edge of these towers facing you, there are these massive wooden planks sticking straight out. And you can tell from the trajectory as they rise that those planks will hit the underside of the platform you're on. But at the last 10 feet or so of those planks, you see some sort of mechanism underneath them. And they have these massive thick hooks on the very end, and some mechanism underneath for the last 10 feet of them. So that's what you can determine. And these are those planks. So far, none of you see any enemies, but Rohan, you see a plank on this bottom of the two towers that's rising up as this bell continues to toll. So as they're rising and they get to about where that platform would be, say 10 feet below the platform you're on, you start to see shapes running around on those towers, shapes you recognize. And these are orcs rushing about, taking cover, and carrying bows. So let's just do initiative. Okay, so let's see. It looks like we have Graham, you're first, and you can see these two orcs here with their bows aiming up towards you guys. And it's your move.
Okay, I'm going to use the patented rapid javelin throw that I used on the boar ages ago. Well, I'm going to move and ready the javelin and then toss it at one of these orcs. Is there cover to be had here?
Well, it's got that low brick wall, but that's only like mid-shin. And because of that they're below you right now, you would have some cover. But once they get parallel, then it's not going to provide any cover unless you lay flat on the ground.
Okay, so I will set my dodge against the one I have targeted, Orc Ranger 2, and that's
Okay.
the one I'll toss my javelin at.
Okay.
Sorry, first roll.
Okay. Yeah. So you see them rising up, and you step forward and you take this javelin and you toss it, and you just judge a little bit wrong the speed with which they're rising. So your javelin misses that orc. And is that your move?
Yeah.
Okay. Rohan, now it's your turn. So you can see over on this lower tower two orcs with bows aiming in your direction. And you also see that plank has, just like I described to the others, there's hooks on the end of it and some sort of mechanism on the underneath. And you can see a little better that it looks like some sort of large spring from your vantage point.
Okay. Are these kind of, what are they, crenulations just to the north and south of the plank? Okay.
Yeah.
So if I move there, I can get
ramparts.
cover from it?
Yeah, you would.
Okay.
You can
I'll
get
move.
up to full cover, but then you wouldn't be able to attack. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll move to get partial cover and then fire one arrow at him as I move.
Okay. All right. So when you move over there, you also see that these two towers are connected by a plank that's already in place, but you don't see any enemies on the other tower yet. So we'll say you have partial cover. Well, never mind. Okay. Yeah. So you've got partial cover and you're able to take a shot. So which one would you like to shoot at?
The one that's closest to the plank.
Right in the middle there? Okay. Oh, I just gave something away. All right, go ahead and make your shot. All right, so that's a hit. So you peek around that rampart there and you send a arrow streaking across and slams into him, and you hear him curse at you as his black blood starts to flow. Anything else?
No, that's all I've got for right now.
Okay. That'll bring us to Casimir.
Do you got this, Finrith, this rope, or do you want to go fight the orcs?
I can hang on to the ropes.
All right. I'll drop the rope and move.
Well,
do these orcs have bows?
Yeah, they do have bows, but I should say that you felt suddenly slack in the rope. As Rohan moved across to where he is, he dragged the rope into the fire. So, Rohan, you still have that rope wrapped around you, but it ends about 5 feet away.
Well, guess we can reel in the rest of it. Don't want to waste a good chunk of it, I guess. But
I kind of figured this was a one-way jump anyway.
Okay. So,
I'll move to there
okay.
and ready my trident as part of the move.
All right. As you get there, you see another orc back behind these two. This one doesn't have a bow.
Well, let's see. Maybe ready for a charge if as at the end of my turn, then something like that.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, so you see this one there, and he's got the falchion and frothing at the tusks, looking at you. All right, and now that brings us to Fenrith. What would you like to do?
I'm going to start reeling the rope in as quick as I can.
Okay, 500 feet of rope. Let's see. That's going to take you quite a while to reel it.
Yeah, I'm not worrying about winding it. It's pretty much just, kind of pull, as
Get
much as
enough
I
of-
can and toss it behind me.
Yeah.
Enough to where it's not going to slide down again, at least.
And then drive a dagger through part of it or something. Stick it in place.
All right, so you start really pulling on this rope, and it starts getting into a mess behind you, and you think, looking at it, that it's going to take you 2 full rounds to get it to the point where the rest of it wouldn't fall.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what you're doing?
Yep.
All right. Rohan, you notice that the raven is flying pretty high up, but he's flying above this tower here, and he's cawing at you as if to warn you. So that was fun.
Okay. I'll keep an eye. Well, I'll take a look in that direction.
Okay. All right. Anyway, let's get to. I wonder why it's doing that. Hang on, give me a second. I'm having technical difficulties here. All right. So, so these 2 orcs in front of you, Casimir, they just lean out and loose an arrow at you. So the first one will be a hit for 9 damage, and the second one fires as well, but his arrow sails past you, and you hear a very foul curse. He barks out as his arrow sails wide. Okay. And you can, some of you, Fenrith and Graham, you can see down below that an orc has ran across that. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Forget I said that. So, Graham, an arrow sails out from the lower tower towards you and hits. So this arrow sinks itself into the back of your leg, and you take 9 damage from it. All right. So, Rohan, what's your AC with partial cover?
I don't remember what partial cover gives us. I thought it was a mischance.
Okay, 1 second.
So with that, I'd have a 24.
So go ahead and set that as your AC for the moment. Okay. So now you see this one, and he steps around so he can see you, and he takes a shot, but it misses, slams into the stone there and shatters. And then the other 2 will also fire at you. And so one of them hits. The arrow streaks in, slams into your knee that's poking out, and they'll do 10 damage. And the other one will take a shot as well. And yeah, I'll say you still have cover from him, partial cover there. So, but that arrow also hits right next to the one from his companion. So now you've got 2 arrows sticking in your leg. That one for 4 damage. And that brings us back to Graham. And Graham, as your turn begins, these the ends of these planks have now now you see what the purpose of that mechanism was. So they do extend underneath the platform, but as they rise, there's a hinge and it's pressed downwards, and then now they've popped above the platform you're on, and that spring activates and brings them back level, and then those hooks hook onto the brick walls there, so they're held firmly in place on the ends of your platform there. But it's your move.
All right, I'll lob my other javelin. I'll attack defensively. Can I do that on a ranged attack?
Attack defensively,
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to look it up. Let's see. Yeah.
I'm saying it's looking like you can. Just
Yeah.
it's a standard action. It doesn't specifically say that it has to be like a melee attack roll, just all attacks around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
Yeah, we'll say you can then.
Okay, I'll lob it. Looks like I missed. For the rest of my turn, I want to examine my end of this flank
Okay.
to see
Right.
if there's going to be a way for me to remove it. Obviously not with Casimir on it, but for future reference.
Right. No. From your examination, these are massive hooks. They've actually dug into the wood on your side of that little brick wall there. And the spring underneath that you can see now is easily as big around as two of you. So there's, that if these towers are ever going to go back down, there's got to be some mechanism to force those planks to hinge when they need them to. But you can think of nothing besides cutting through the wood, which is about a foot thick, to get them off of there.
Okay, that's it for my turn.
Okay, Rohan, now it's your move. So now you've got a couple arrows sticking in you. These ones are obviously good archers. What do you do?
Yeah. Do I see anything over by where the raven's flying?
Well, you could use an action to make a spot check.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. Yeah, just based on the angles, you can see that there is a trap door in the center of that. Now, all these towers look like they have one, but they don't. But that one you can see has a trap door in the center of it, and that seems to be what the raven is interested in.
Okay, but I don't see any enemies over there yet.
No enemies.
Okay, then I'll peek out around the corner and I will do one of my multi shots. 2 arrows towards the same target.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hit. Both arrows? Or do you got to roll for each arrow?
No, I was doing it wrong before. It's 1 attack action for both arrows.
Perfect. Okay, so both of these arrows slam into him. Go ahead and roll for damage. Yeah, so you can tell you've hurt him quite a bit. Both of these arrows slam into his stomach. So
Yeah,
he doubles
and then
them.
try and keep as much cover as I possibly can.
Okay. That brings us to Casimir.
All right, I'll move up and I'll fight defensively, or not defensively, using combat expertise. Oops. There we go. And I'll attack. There we go. That one. I'll be wielding my trident two-handed.
Okay.
Ah, dang it. I think that's an auto miss, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Okay. All right. So yeah, you step forward to try and make an attack, but you can't get your footing right, so it's ineffective.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, Fenrith.
I'm going to continue to pull that up.
All right. Yeah, so by the end of your turn now, you think you've got a big enough mess of it that it's not going to all slide over the edge when you let go. Okay. All right, so this one here steps back and lets go of his bow and pulls out his falchion, and so does this one. Now this one steps out onto the other platform and takes aim at you, Casimir, with his bow. But the arrow sails wide. All right, then more shots are coming your way, Rohan. Your AC still where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, it should still be a 24.
Okay. All right, so another arrow slams into you, this time in your shoulder, and does 6 damage. This one has dropped his bow and pulled his falchion and moved up to here. And this one will take another shot. That also hits for 4 damage. So now you've got quite a bit of arrows sticking in you. Graham, you see this one move all the way up to you, waving his falchion. You notice also that he's got like foam coming out of his mouth, and his eyes are just pure insanity. This one comes running up towards you as well. And then Casimir, this one steps forward and attacks you with his falchion. I wonder if I'm pronouncing that right. But he hits for 9 damage.
All right.
So slices into your collarbone with this wide-bladed weapon here. And that'll bring us to you, Graham.
Okay, so I'll 5 foot back, ready my dagger, and attack this raging orc in front of me.
What, like, are you going to throw it?
Let me do that in a different order.
Okay.
Yeah, one sec here.
It's a 10-foot dagger,
Yeah.
so he's got reach.
Who knows what magic lies in that blade? Yeah, so Bloodtooth starts talking almost in a conversational tone about how he loves to kill orcs more than just about anything he's ever killed. And so you stick this orc, and it howls at you as it starts bleeding from its wound. Is that your move?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay, Rohan. Now you've got one just a few feet away from you with this curved sword, this large curved sword, and you're still taking fire from the ones across the way. What do you?
I'm going to do a full attack into this one. At least the first 2 shots into this one.
Okay.
And if they don't finish him off, then I'll take the 3rd shot at him as well.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and roll for attack.
Sorry, it's doing something weird.
Is it rolling in there and then not recording the numbers?
All right, 24 and 24, both of those hit. So go ahead and roll damage. So both of those just slam right into his throat, and you can see the light fade from his eyes as he tumbles off of the platform.
All right, and then with the last arrow, I'm going to switch targets at a -4 and attack one of the ones across the pit.
Okay. Right.
And-
So your shot goes short and doesn't find its target.
Okay. And that's my turn, continuing to try and keep as much of this stone between me and their arrows as possible.
Okay. That brings us to Casimir. Okay, at 24, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. 12 damage, so you stick him real good in the chest. Fenrith, your move.
All right. I am going to move up, and I'll draw my weapon as part of that move, and then I will attack this orc fighter one. It still won't let me target anything. I don't know if you can do anything with that, but
Shows you were targeting a bunch of stuff just a second ago.
yeah, at the top left of the map, there's a target all friendlies and target all enemies, but the single target doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. Let me look into it. Maybe I can try it now.
That's still nothing.
That's just odd. So you want to target
Orc fighter one.
Orc Fighter 1. All right. So I'll do that for you. And so now it's your target. I don't know why I have to do that. Right. So you attack with your long sword and you slice into his arm and deal 4 damage to him. And okay. All right. All right. So Casimir, more arrows headed your way.
Yay.
So that one misses. Now you can see that despite the maddened look in their eyes, this one's clearly trying to avoid striking his own companion, and so it sends the arrow slamming into the stone there. And this other one takes a shot, but he also misses. It's just too hectic in there for them to get a good shot. But this third ranger down below, he'll also take a shot. And it's a critical hit for 24 damage. So this one slams right into your neck, and you can hear him shout with glee in his orc tongue. Okay, so looking around that stone, Rohan, you can see one of those took off across the planks headed towards the upper tower there. But this one that still remains, he also drops his bow and comes charging across the planks. And he gets to right in front of you there with this sword raised. All right. So this orc that you sliced, Fenrith, he turns his attention to you now. He sees you as the more dangerous foe, and he takes a slice at you with his falchion. And he hits for 10 damage, and he laughs as he feels as you feel the blade bite into you. A real full-bellied laugh too. Really made him happy. And this one will
join him in that full-bellied laugh.
This one will step up to here and also slice at you with his falchion. Yeah, so you're laughing too. So now there's just the sound of laughter rising above all the din of battle. But he misses his swing. And then the one in front of you, Casimir, he'll stab again, but he misses. Which brings us back to Graham. So from what you can see, Graham, there's an awful lot of blood beneath Casimir's feet, and there's an arrow sticking in his throat, in the side of his neck. Your move.
Okay, I will try something risky here. I'm going to drop my backpack so that I may tumble in between these two guys. So the first, I make a separate check for each opponent, and the second one is +2 higher than the first one.
Okay. So what is your DC?
15 for one of them and 17 for the other one.
Okay, so go ahead and move where you want to go, and then make the roll. Okay. So go ahead and make the first roll, your first tumble roll, and that's successful. So, he's swinging his sword at Fenrith, who's swinging his sword at him, and you just roll right between them as they're fighting, and you come up here. Now, go ahead and make your second.
I'd like to use my luck of heroes.
Okay. And you're successful. So this other one seems like you didn't even notice until you got to your position there, and then he's like, huh? So, yeah. And what else?
So I have an action left, and I'll attack Orc Fighter 1. I'm going to attack him defensively. This is an old move I used a few sessions ago, but I'm going to aid another to boost John's AC or Fenrith's AC.
Oh, okay. So how does that work? I forgot.
Well, the aid AC is 10, and then, or difficulty class is 10, and then I get a -4 to my attack roll.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make the roll. All right. So that seems successful, right?
Yeah, so Fenrith, you get a +2 to your AC.
Yeah. So Fenrith, in your character sheet, go ahead and change your AC for now.
I got it.
So I tell you to put it back. All right. Good move.
And that's my turn.
All right. So speaking of that, who all still has the luck of heroes?
You ain't been exactly handing them out.
Yeah, I used mine. I think 1 or 2 sessions after we got it.
Yeah, I think I used it the same session it was handed out.
All right, let me check my notes.
I think I still have mine. I've never used it.
Let me check my notes. That's the thing that I usually. All right, so well, everybody should have one, except for you, Graham, because you just used it. But everybody should have one. I apologize for that. Sometimes I get caught up and I forget to award that sort of stuff. I was listening to one of our previous episodes earlier and came across an incident where I had thought I'd explained something to you guys, and then I asked if it sounded familiar, and none of you knew what I was talking about. So that's like where I just imagined that I must have said it. So my bad. Everybody should have one though right now, except for Graham, who just used his. So mark that down. However you keep track of it. I'll make a note to make sure to reward those when I'm supposed to. All right, Rohan.
All right, so I'm gonna 5 foot back and away from this thing, trying not to step into the fire, and unleash a full volley at him.
Okay, go ahead and move where you want to. Okay. And you're going to release a full volley at number 6.
Yes, the one coming at me.
Okay, so all 3 arrows strike him right in the chest. Go ahead and roll for damage for those 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so all 3 of these stab right into his chest, and you can hear this. And he seems unsteady on his feet, but he doesn't go down.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Casimir.
I guess I'm gonna 5 foot and oh man. Yeah, I'll push the arrow through the rest of my neck and drink a potion.
You don't even want to break it off. Just push it all the way through from the
Yeah, might as well.
from the feathers. So yeah, the feathers are they're grimy and disgusting. So now you have an infection. Go ahead and roll your potion.
All right, what is it for moderate? Is it 2d8 plus 5 or?
I
can't remember.
think it is, but it also could be 3d8. Let me look up.
Yeah, I tried looking for it, and I've never been one to be able to find where those potions are.
I think I had +2 written down, but I will double check as well.
It is. Wow. Yeah, do 2d8 plus 3.
Okay. Let me make a note of that. Show up? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 hit points are healed.
Oh, so useless.
Yeah, it's a bad roll.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. Give me 5 seconds to think about something. Okay, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, well, add 2 more hit points because it is. These ones you found were actually 2d8 plus 5, so add 2 more hit points to your character sheet. And
All right.
Fenrith, now that brings us to you. So
right.
you can also see out of the side of your vision there, you catch Casimir step back and drink a potion after pulling an arrow out of his neck. But now Graham has did an amazing acrobatic move and placed himself behind your 2 enemies. So go ahead, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna activate my haste boots and we'll full attack.
Okay, which one were you going to attack?
I'm attacking fighter 1
Okay.
for right now.
All right.
I would at this point like to pre-action communicate, like make a motion, like move over, Fenrith, move over.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay. Yeah, you can see him make that motion. So you step over.
and then I'll full attack.
Okay. Okay. So it was almost a critical, but is not a critical. So you got 1 hit. Go another attack. Oh yeah. So that one slices into him for 9 damage, and a gout of blood sprays out over the front of your armor. And the next one's also a hit. So you slice him in the belly and do 10 more damage.
I'll
So now
continue laughing the entire time.
Yeah, he's not laughing anymore. His blood's running down the front of him to his feet and pooling on the planks there. Is that your turn?
I'll call for Casimir to try and make his way back to me.
Okay. Okay, so this ranger will run out onto the planks and take aim at you, Graham, from across the chasm. And he hits. So an arrow slams into your shoulder for 5 damage. And this one steps over here and takes aim at you again, Casimir. And he hits for 6 damage. This one moves over here and takes aim at Fenrith. Just pulls his bow back and lets loose and misses. So when would he lose that extra AC, Graham?
I think it's only effective against the enemy that I am distracting. So that would be Orc Fighter 1.
All right. So would a 24 have hit you, Fenrith?
My AC would be a 25 right now with the haste boots.
Okay.
I moved it back.
Okay. All right. Roll on. From this northern tower, arrow streaks out of the darkness towards you, but it misses. It actually doesn't make it all the way across. So he fumbles his shot so poorly, the arrow sails down into the darkness in between you. But this one, now he's really unsteady on his feet, and so he stumbles forward, swinging his falchion at you. He looks like he's just about had it. But he hits, and he hits. He gets a critical hit. Let's see. Oh, you moron.
That's not nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll just do it twice. I forgot to. Oh, there it. For 16. So he slices you right in the face, and you can feel the steel bite into you, the bridge of your nose and your cheek. And then Casimir, this one steps out onto the plank, swinging his sword. We'll just see if he hits you before damage. How's that?
That'd be preferable.
But he misses. You do notice he's a little uncomfortable being out there, even though there's plenty of room. He steps out like like he's worried about heights or something.
Like a mentally correct and sound person would over a void.
Yeah, exactly. The insanity doesn't seem to protect the fear of falling for infinity. Fenrith, this one in front of you, will, with his weapon in both hands, raise it above his head, slice down at your head, but he misses. So it clangs into your helmet, but then it deflects it, and you hear him, what you imagine is a curse, as his sword continues its travel and hits the floor.
Another round of guffawing laughter.
Yeah. We already did that. What we want is this guy. So this one steps up to the side of you, Fenrith, and he takes a swing as well. And he hits. So he slashes right into your upper arm there, finds a open place, and does 10 damage to you. Almost a critical. Shame. And that brings us back to you, Graham.
All right, so I'm going to step over and unleash the full round sneak attacks on Orc Fighter 1. Also spend my free action to set my dodge against Orc Ranger 3.
Okay. Automatic miss.
Oh my.
Another automatic miss.
BS. That's pure BS. That's what that is.
Wow.
That's it. That's my turn.
Okay. So as you stab and miss horribly, you hear a chuckle in your head, but sort of a frustrated chuckle. Rohan. So now you got this guy in front of you. He looks near death, but he did get a great shot right on your face.
Yeah, I'm gonna stumble back with my back against that crenulation just to the north of me, and
Okay.
just unleash as many arrows at him as I can.
All right. Yeah. So all 3 of your arrows hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah. So these arrows repay the favor, and you put them all in his face in a nice little group, and you can see blood and brains leaking out behind him as he falls forward to the ground. His sword clatters at your feet.
And then with my back against the stone, I'm just gonna drop to the ground so I've got full cover from the one to the north.
Well, you don't need to. You would have full cover right now. Unless you decide to peek around and shoot, you'll have full cover from him where he is now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep my back against the stone right now.
Okay. All right. Casimir.
You still waving me in, Fenrith?
Yep.
All right. Let's take a gamble. Attack opportunity from Orc Fighter 3.
Try to get I'll ask you to step back 5 feet.
Okay, so there.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll 5 foot then, and I will attempt to cast Mirror Image on myself. Not on Orc Fighter 3. That would be silly. So 15% chance. Did that not show up? No, it did. Okay, yeah.
It
So I
did.
cast it, and
Nice.
I gain 2 mirror images.
Perfect. Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. Fenrith.
All right. So I'm going to. Oh, did you get my whisper, Brandon?
I did, and no.
Okay.
No, it's for a roll.
Okay.
Any roll. Well, why am I being such a? Yeah, let's say it can be. Go ahead. We can use it to regain a spell slot as well.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do that to regain my cure serious wound spell.
Okay.
So I'm gonna 5 foot there, and then I'll cast Cure Serious on Casimir.
Okay, but there's a 33% chance that you'll cast it on one of his mirror images.
I'll grab his hand.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Can you target Casimir instead of Orc Fighter for me? Because if I roll this, it's going to heal Orc Fighter 1.
You got it. All right. So Casimir, 20 hit points come surging into you, and you can feel your wounds stitching themselves up. A familiar
And then
crazy itch that you get as your wounds seal. Go ahead.
Though I want to also taunt the Orc Fighter 1 and 2.
Okay.
To try and draw them in.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you, Fenrith.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay. 2 more arrows coming at you, Graham, from across the way over yonder. The first one misses. The second one hits. So this one gets you right in the calf and does 4 damage. Okay. All right. Fenrith, another arrow coming at you. You still have your haste boots on?
Yes, because I said I didn't deactivate. I didn't say I deactivated them, so I'm sorry about that.
Well, that arrow hits you right in the belly and does 5 damage. Ron, you see this guy walking out on the platform here on these planks, and he's scanning, and you see when he sees you, his eyes light as he's looking around, but as he comes into view, his eyes widen and he starts aiming at you, but he doesn't have any moves. Let's see. All right, so this fighter will step up and swing at you, Fenrith.
Okay.
He's not laughing anymore, and he's clearly taken some hits, but he misses. And this one will step up here and attack you as well, but he misses. And you can hear him curse in frustration as your defenses, your armor's just too good. Casimir, this one steps forward and attacks you. He's taken a vicious swing but it misses as well. And you can tell that it's probably because he's so distracted by by his precarious position out here.
I think he technically would have hit one of, like, you still got to roll that percentage chance because it's what he's targeting.
Oh, I
Right.
see. I forgot about that. Well, let's say 33% chance he would have been aiming at you.
Yeah.
1 to 33. 35. So he would have been aiming at Amir.
All right.
What is their AC the same?
No, it's lower, and any damage dealt to him pops him.
Oh. Well, what is their AC?
It's 13, I believe. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, so one of the mirror images pops and disappears like a bubble. And that brings us back to you, Graham.
All
So
right.
he was being pressed by these arrows from the other side. And you know there's that one down below. Seems to be aiming at Fenrith, but he's got a clear shot at you too.
All right, let's try this again. I'll stay on Orc Fighter 1 and get in there for a full attack on the kidneys, hopefully.
If you go diagonal on a 5 foot, does that should still count as flanking, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't actually even require complete opposite sides for flanking. So, yeah, go ahead. All right, first attack is a miss, but the second one is a hit. You feel it bite into flesh. Go ahead and roll damage. And you can hear like a satisfied intake of breath through the teeth in your head from Bloodtooth as a ruby flashes and fills up. So,
and that was a free action to release the power contained within. Can I do that on the round it fills up, or do I have to wait to the next round?
Yeah, you got to wait till the round after.
Okay. That's it for my turn.
Okay. Rohan. So now this guy's clear. You both have a clear shot at each other.
Okay, I'm going to take a 5 foot step towards the other crenulation to try and get partial cover from him as he's crossing that, and unleash a full volley as I take that step.
Okay. All 3 of your arrows slam into him. Go ahead and roll for damage. Yeah, so you pop around the corner and just fingers moving like lightning, and 3 arrows stick into his belly, and you hear him and double over. And is that your move?
Yeah, I'll try and get partial cover from this side if I can, as part of that step.
Okay.
If you were tripped on one of these bridges, would you have a chance to fall off depending on which way you fell? Oh.
No, you fall immediately in your square, just straight down.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, was it like bull rushing and other stuff like that would be able to move them off?
Funny you should say that. Okay, Casimir, your turn.
All right. I'm going to use combat expertise and attack. What is that, Orc 3?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a hit. All right, so you do some serious damage to this guy, stabbing forward with your trident. And as you pull it out, you can see blood splatter all over the ground in front of you. Fenrith.
All right, so I'm going to continue the assault on Fighter 1 with a full attack.
Okay.
Can you target Fighter 1 for me? Thank you.
All right, so you hit for 6 damage. You slice into him, and you just get like the tip of your sword right across his throat, and just blood sprays all over you. And he tries to reach for it, but the strength's already gone, and he falls to the ground dead.
All right. Is it a -2?
Yes. Yes, to change target. So to do a -2 modifier, you have to actually put the minus in. So you're going to attack him?
Yeah. Could you target him for me?
Well, yeah, there we go. You can also just roll the dice onto the token, the attack onto the token.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks, man.
So this slice hits this guy as well. So you fell his friend and then turn and slash across his arm.
So I'm gonna another booming laughter as I step over his dead friend, 5 foot to there.
Okay.
I'll also call out to Casimir and ask how you say weak in Orcish.
I'll shout back the answer, like cop block.
Yeah.
Then I'll if I have enough part of that free action, say that
Yeah.
in between laughter to this guy.
Okay. Yeah, so you shout that to him, and you can see the recognition on his face. He recognizes what the word is.
I'd like to, if I could, shout it loud enough for the archers to hear too.
Okay. All right, go ahead and pass it on. Right.
Unfortunately for us, orc rangers don't seem to be too weak.
Yeah.
All right, so in response, it seems, to you shouting that word, these two orcs out on the plank in between the towers take aim at you. Both of their shots miss though. So now this other one that's been shooting at you the whole time, he hits. So you feel the arrow bite into your flesh, and it does 4 damage. And Rohan, this guy takes aim at you as you're peeking around that corner. But his arrow misses too, slams into the stone there, shatters. And Fenrith, this fighter here that you just shouted at and sliced into, he'll take an attack on you, and he hits and does 9 damage.
Okay.
And then Casimir, this one will attack you again.
All right.
And he hits for 10 damage. So that brings us to Graham.
So I'm going to move up and skirt around behind Orc Fighter 2 and stab him once.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hit. Okay. Yeah, that's good damage. So you feel your dagger sink in between a couple of ribs, and he cries out in pain.
And then I'll free action use the orb or the jewel I filled in the last turn to do the healing effect. Is that
okay.
1d6 per jewel?
No, it's like a sneak attack, so it's 2d6 per jewel.
Oh, okay. And how many jewels were on there?
Well, there's 3 total.
Okay.
So.
And that's my turn.
So did you roll the healing?
Did you use it?
Yeah, I'm going to. Oops, sorry. Wrong one.
So that healed you for 11 right there, the potion.
It's
right?
within the range of 2d6, right?
Yeah.
So 8. I'll subtract that out of there, or add 3 back in.
Okay. All right. Rohan. So this guy's looking really rough.
All right. Yeah, I'm starting to feel my mortality here, so I'm going to unleash another full barrage at him.
Okay. So once again, all 3 of your arrows strike true. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah, and that seems to have done it. All these arrows stick into him at various points on his torso, but then he stands up straight and then topples forward off of the planks into the darkness below.
Does he do the Wilhelm scream?
No, he doesn't. I'm saving that.
Okay.
I'm saving that for a special occasion. Okay, anything else?
And then once I see him drop, I'm just going to drop to my knees behind this thing and put my back against the stone, kind of panting and trying to see exactly where all I'm wounded.
All right. Casimir.
All right. Let's attack Orc 3 again. I'll be using a combat expertise.
Okay. So have you been adding that to your AC when you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Fenrith.
All right, I'll do a full attack here, as this is also... So when the haste boots run out, does that AC bonus end at the end of my turn or the end of the round?
The round.
Okay, so this is the last turn that my boots have in them
Are you
for the
sure?
day. Yeah, this is 10 for total time I've had them.
Yeah, we're in round 10, but you didn't turn them on until like round 3 because you were fiddling with the rope, right?
Yeah, I had used some the last combat we were
Oh,
in
okay.
and the first one as well.
I got you. Okay. All right, go ahead and make your attack. That's a hit. Yeah, really good damage. So you stab him right in the chest, and you pull back and slice, yeah, across his belly. So yeah, you've done serious damage to him, and he's starting to look frightened.
All right, another booming laugh, and then I'll call him weak to shout it out loud enough for all of them to hear.
Okay. All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that'll be it.
All right. So once again, you're taking arrows. That's a hit from across the way for 10 damage. And oh, that's dumb. And this one is a miss. So, oh, I see it did roll. Yeah. So the other one misses you. And then this one down below is perfectly comfortable taking pot shots all day. But his arrow misses too. So you see him drop his bow after that arrow, and he starts moving to pull his sword.
Okay.
But this one that you've been attacking, he raises his falchion in two hands over his head and slices down, grunting with the effort. And almost a critical. So he hits you for 10 damage. Slices right next to your neck, into your shoulder. And Casimir, this one continues his attack, but he misses.
Thank God.
Which brings us back to you, Graham.
Full attack.
Shout out to Graham. You need to kill this one right now.
All right, so you stab at him, but that's weird. What's going on there?
I think I just double tapped on the first one. I didn't see it there. So
okay, so the second one, do you not have him targeted?
No, I do. It looks
don't.
like I
Okay.
missed both of them, or I thought I did. Oh, never mind. No, I didn't have them targeted, but I got an 11 and an 8 for the two actual rolls.
Okay, all right. So you feel that, you hear that sense of mounting frustration from Bloodtooth as you miss with your attacks, and that brings us to: are you going to move or anything?
No, that's it.
Okay, Rohan. Nothing going on over here. You're taking stock of your wounds, but you can hear the sounds of battle. And now the raven has come back to light on your chest there.
So for this round, I'm going to be snapping arrows off while digging at my belt for a cure moderate wounds potion and take the potion.
Okay, go ahead and roll for the heal. Okay, 11 hit points are returned to you. The warmth floods through. It's sort of like drinking a hard liquor, but doesn't catch as much in your throat, and you can feel your wounds start to heal.
I forgot to add the +5 to that. Sorry.
That's okay. You can fix it. What were you at for wounds?
I was at 40 damage out of 58 hit points, so I can fix it.
Okay. Casimir, now it's your turn.
If I 5 foot towards Fenrith, could I attack Fighter 2?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure that wasn't like a wall I couldn't see around or something. All right.
You should have flanking on him as well.
Not
yeah,
quite.
You do.
Oh, yeah, from
Yeah.
whatchamacallit. So
Yeah, you do.
change that because that'd only be a -2 to my attack. Oh, whoops. -2. There we go. All right. So I'm fighting with combat expertise.
Okay.
Let's see if this works. All right.
All right. So you take a step back and you turn and you stab at this orc. And as you do, as the tines of your trident sink into his flesh, you feel this. It's almost like a pull, like something's pulling the trident even further, and you hear this sound in your head of rocks smashing against each other and doing another 1d6 damage.
All right.
Better two. I'll add that here.
Sorry.
So as you stab into him, you feel this pull, and then your trident, it flares brightly, and it's changed its coloration to now more of a like the red clay, and with yellow accent moving through it. So
Okay.
that happens, and then you hit that sound in your head, and you feel you did more damage, and it was like the weight of it increased as it struck.
Okay.
So anyway, that one's dead. So you stab him right through the chest, and his lifeblood leaks out, and he says a word as he dies that you can't quite place. You know the word, you just can't quite place.
Okay.
That's it was in Orc. It's just not one that you've ever remember hearing.
Okay.
So then and then out of game, now that's you'll add 1d6 earth damage
All right.
to your attacks from now on.
All right. Thank you.
And Fenrith, you see his weapon flare and change colors, and then that orc crumbles to the ground after saying something. Your turn.
All right. What is it to go full defensive?
It's a full round action.
And what exactly does that give you?
No, total defense is a standard action.
It is?
Yeah, and it gives you a plus. I'll get you the page number here in a second. But it gives you a plus 4 to your AC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's that. It's standard action plus 4 to your AC.
That's page 142.
Yeah.
And drinking a potion is a full round?
No, I think that's also
Or a
a standard action.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a standard action.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I thought it was getting it out of the bag is what made it full, because unless you had it on like a bandolier.
Yeah, Chris is right about that. To get it out, it would take the full action.
Okay. So, I'll grab a potion.
Okay. So you could get it out and take it right now. You just wouldn't be able to do anything else. All right. Yeah. So
I'm going to 5 foot there. Can I still do that?
Yeah. You feel that warmth go throughout your body, and your wounds start to heal. Go ahead and pass it on if that's your turn. Still taking arrows from across the way. You hear more than see one of them streak by your head. Ignore that. So, okay. Oh, because it was a potential critical. All right. So is your haste still going? No,
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's no, it's turned off. Yeah.
So what would your AC be without that? Have you moved your AC down and taken away Travis's bonus as well? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm at a 24 normally, so that would have been a critical.
Okay. Right. So another arrow. This one sinks into your head. Let's see. I'll just do it this way.
It's a times 3, isn't it?
8. Yeah, it's just 18. 22 damage total.
Good Lord.
Or no, sorry. Forget that. 16 damage total. Did you already add it?
No, that's what I'm going to do right now. As the other one was 11, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So 5 more.
Yeah. So you should be at 59.
Okay, it's updated.
Okay. Now this other one, he charges forward with his falchion and slices at you, but he misses. So, and then the only one left is this one, who steps forward at you, Casimir.
All right.
He misses as well. You can see his knees wobbling. It's that thing that happens when you're in a precarious position, even though there's really no danger. You still make it worse because you can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Graham.
Okay, I'm gonna move up and aid Fenrith. I'm gonna boost his AC by distracting this Orc Ranger 3,
Okay.
but I fail.
Yeah, he doesn't pay you any mind. He's too focused.
That's my turn.
All right. So I'm going to do some dice rolls here.
I'm wondering if we could get like an IV drip for potions. Just wheel it around.
Yeah.
You need a was it one of the beer hats that has straws going into each one,
Yeah.
and just like load up 4 or 5 extra little cups for it, so you can just start sipping one out, or a camel's back full of
Yeah, the camel's back
full
would
of
be a good
potions.
one. But
I
the
think we
problem
have
is this was it the verbal components? We wouldn't be able to talk and drink. That's why you gotta go intravenous.
I think we have conversations similar to this every time we play at some
Yeah.
point.
Because there always is a point where we're getting messed up by something, and it's like, man, why aren't I just constantly regenning with potions here?
Yeah, why can't it be like Baldur's Gate or something like that where you can just spam the button over and over and over again?
All right. So you're all pretty busy in your individual fights, but you still manage to, you hear remarkably above the din of battle and the cursing and the grunting, meow, right? Not an angry one, but just like the way they meow when they want your attention. And as you look over, you see that this cat is winding itself in between the legs of these two archers over on the planks here, like they're friends or something. But they look down and notice, and they freak, and they end up tripping themselves and falling prone onto this platform here. And the cat continues winding around them as if they're friends. Rohan, your move. You don't see that.
But I want to.
Did you want to?
All right,
Did
so
you?
yeah, I'm gonna pick myself up off the ground out of my little pool of blood there and make as much progress as I can towards that trap door.
Okay.
Let's see how far I can. It looks like I can get about there.
All right. Okay, so pass it on to Casimir.
All right.
Yeah, so unbelievably, this cat is over there harassing these guys, and they've both fallen down now to, onto the plank.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully use this bit of opportunity without them peppering me with arrows to just try to get this orc fighter in front of me out of the way.
Okay.
So here we go. Did it not target him? It shows I'm targeting Orc 3.
I don't.
Is that a hit?
But yeah, that'd be a hit.
All right.
So I'm not sure why.
And it. Okay, there it goes. Oh man,
All right.
weak roll.
Did you add your 1d6?
Yeah, they're both there. They should be. It was just that they were both 2s.
All right. Yeah. So you stab him, and he grunts. He's bleeding all over. He looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. Fenrith.
All right, I'm going to 5 foot back, and we'll drink another potion.
Okay. All right. So
and
yeah,
I'll taunt the guy forward.
Okay. All right. So these two orcs over here, they both stand up and they both take aim at the cat and loose arrows at it. The cat, for its part, doesn't seem to have yet noticed that they aren't friends. So the cat seems unconcerned. But when the arrows slam into the wood next to it, then it does a familiar hiss that you've heard before. And that's their move.
Yeah, that thing almost killed me when I was level 1.
And technically, he's probably been leveling up with us, so.
Yeah, so following your taunt, Fenrith, this one steps forward and takes a swing at you with his falchion. And almost a critical. One more and it would have been a critical. But he does 10
stop
damage.
taunting him.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm doing that is so that they don't go after the Rangers. At least were to go after Casimir or Graham. Really, Fenrith is scared out of his wits, but it's the only thing he could think to do without being able to heal you guys.
Okay, Casimir. Now you still have one mirror image, right?
Yeah, I think we've been actually. Yeah, I think we've been messing up on the remembering to roll.
That's
my
okay.
fault on that.
I'll make the roll and then we'll do the percentage. So it missed 1 through 50. It would have been at you. And he got 93. So that would be at your mirror. So you've lost that mirror image.
All right.
And that brings us to, let's see, we'll go back to the.
That should set you up to 5 foot and flank, though, Graham.
Yeah, I see it.
So, so Casimir, after he attacks and your mirror image disappears now, you see Rohan's raven comes and attacks this guy right next to you. And he flies up in his face, and starts going at him with its talons. But this is a big, tough orc, and he's smart enough to know what the real threat is. But it does put him off balance. And he falls prone because he freaks out thinking he's going to get pushed off by this raven. But he doesn't. But he does go down to he goes down to the floor, like sort of trying to hug it. People do when they panic, when they're about to fall off of something. So that's what you see. And that brings us, Graham, to your turn.
All right, I'll move into position and stab this guy twice. Full attack.
Okay. And you can hear Bloodtooth saying, come on, come on, come on. Nice shot, 25. That's a hit. That second one's a miss.
And I'd like to release the power within one of these jewels to deal an additional 2d6 damage.
Well, you have one now from that sneak attack, but didn't you use the other one to heal?
I had 2, and I used
okay.
1 to heal.
All right, yeah, go ahead and add 2d6 more damage.
It's all in there.
Okay.
And that's
all
my
right,
turn.
Yeah. So you reach forward and you stab him and you release that power, and so your dagger flares and you can feel the potent energy streaming into him, and he grunts in pain. Rohan.
Sorry, I was watching the other map and got caught up in the action. I'm going to continue moving towards the trap door.
Yeah, so you can make it there.
Do I have enough of an action left to open it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I'm going to kind of whisper to myself, God, I wish Graham was here, as I just throw it open.
Okay.
Spikes and fireballs.
Yeah.
After seeing what's happened to Graham every time a door opens, I'm terrified.
Well, there's nothing happens this time. You just open it to see a ladder staked into a stone wall heading downward.
How far down is it?
20 feet.
What
source of light do you have?
My glowing bow.
Okay, so that's a torch. So yeah, you can see the floor down there.
Okay. As part of this, after I throw it open, can I step forward and just fall through? Or is that next round?
Yeah,
okay.
We'll say next round.
All right. Then that's my turn.
Okay, Casimir. So you got this raven, and its feathers are flying, and it's darting back and forth and attacking this. But once it fell, then it sort of
backed off
and flew away.
All right, I'll try to finish.
And actually, it heads off towards Rohan.
All right. Yeah, I'll try to finish this orc off.
Okay.
All right, guess that's a hit.
Yeah, it's a hit. Yeah, so you he's down there and you find an unprotected spot on his neck and stab into it.
Well, what I was going to do is, because he's like hugging that platform, is I was just going to put my trident down on the ground, just run it right across, because it's slashing as well now.
Yeah, that's true.
Just take his head off.
There you go. So his head pops off and falls over the side.
And then
And
I'll
he's
move to
dead.
there. And that's my turn.
Okay, Fenrith. Talk. No.
Okay, so 5 foot back to from this guy, and then drink my last potion,
Probably about 5 minutes. Okay.
and then I'll taunt him forward again.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah, so I was checking to see if I had anything up my sleeve I could try and use, but I think I'm all tapped at this point.
Okay. So these two orcs both stand up. This one tries to shoot the cat again, but the other one notices that it's a cat. So he fires at you, Graham, and hits for 7 damage. And this orc over here, he will step forward and slice at you, Fenrith, but he misses. So roll on you. The raven comes flying back and lands on your shoulder. And Graham, it's your turn.
All right, I'll stay on the Orc Ranger. I'll shout to Fenrith, "My backpack's at your feet. There's more potions in there."
Thank you.
And I'll attack twice.
Yeah, first hit and the second hit. Yeah. So you stab your dagger in twice and you feel that familiar surge as 2 rubies fill up on your dagger. And you got double this guy. You brought him to like a ridiculous amount under. So how do you want to kill him?
I'll go in for that kidney shot, and once he starts toppling over, I'll just straddle him and keep stabbing it into it, prison style.
Okay, yeah. So
And that's my turn.
right. So and now you're feeling that aggravation again, but I should have mentioned after you healed yourself, you've been feeling really angry,
Okay,
really
well,
irritable.
that works out perfectly then.
Okay. All right. So Rohan.
All right, so I'll kind of look at my bird as it takes its spot upon my shoulder and says, "Well, good luck to us both," and drop down into the chasm, or into the.
He said it already, so
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you jump down onto the stone floor beneath, but that's 20 feet. So you
Yeah,
take
does the feather fall kick in for that?
Well, you would have to activate it.
Okay, that's a free action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll activate it as I take this step in.
Okay. Yeah. So you land on the floor below, and let's see, put you down where you would be, and as you land on the stone tile floor, you're in an unlit room. You see a door immediately opposite you and an assortment of weapons racks on the walls holding spears, swords, axes, and bows.
Okay, it's still loading for me. I don't see any enemies though.
No,
Okay,
you don't see any threats.
Okay, then I guess I'll move up to the door, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Casimir, your move.
All right. Wait a second. Gotta disappear that map Rohan's on. Let's see. I will move up to Ranger 2, and I will attack him, or try to.
Okay.
Oh. All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Automatic miss. Then that'll bring us to Fenrith.
all right. So I will dig in Graham's bag, since he had given me that permission, and grab what potions do you have? Do you have Cure Moderate in there?
Yeah, there are 5 Cure Moderate Wound potions.
They're all slightly drank, though.
Just a little bit. You could tell the stopper has been undone. But yeah, I'll heal myself, and then I'll grab another one as well and offer it out towards Graham.
Okay.
So just reach in, grab two, drink one, offer it out towards Graham if he wants it.
All right. All right. So the cat with its hiss had taken off and ran over here. And this Ranger 1 is going to take another shot at Graham. But he misses. And Ranger 2 is going to pull out his sword and face off with you, Casimir.
All right.
And that's a hit for 9 damage. And that brings us back to you, Graham.
So I'm going to ignore the potion that he's offering, almost as if I don't see it, and run off screaming in a rage to there. And that's my turn. Well, actually, I would like to use one of the rubies for some healing.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Yeah, so you receive 7 hit points. And now you're having a hard time seeing out of your peripheral vision. You're so angry. Like, you can't remember being this angry. Rohan.
All right, so taking a lesson from Graham, I'm going to crack it open a little bit and listen.
Okay. All right. So you crack it open a little bit. You can see the stone tile floor. It's different in this. And when you crack it open, this is what you see because it opens from the right side. So you can see the end of a narrow hallway there. And roll your listen. Okay. So you put your ear up and you listen, but you don't hear anything.
All right, so I'll open it the rest of the way, ready my bow, and step through the door.
Okay. All right. So that's what you see. You can see there's another door further down, but that's as far as you can see with what's illuminated by your. Let's see. So actually, you can see this far. So you can see there's a door on either side of the hallway, oddly spaced there. All right. Is that your move?
Yeah, that's all I can do this turn.
Okay. That brings us to you, Casimir.
All right. Yeah, we'll just keep trying to attack. This time I'll use combat expertise.
Okay, it's a hit. Yeah. So you stab into or slice him, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you bite through flesh. So, Fenrith, your move.
Since Graham refused the offer of that potion, I'll go ahead and quaff it down, and then I'll draw my bow. Well, sorry, I'll sheathe my sword, and then start reaching back for my bow.
Okay. All right. All right. So now this guy's turned and sighted in on you, Graham. You can see his eyes are wide by your screaming. Now he's starting to look a little scared of you. He takes a shot with his bow and hits.
Good.
Ouch.
It's a critical hit for 22 points of damage.
Oh, that knocks me down.
Okay. Yeah, so you fall onto the hard stone face first. And Casimir, this one takes another swipe at you, but he misses again, and he curses, particularly nasty curse. And that'll bring us to Graham. So what are you at then? You'd be at -1.
Yeah, so... Oh, man, I haven't done this in so long, I can't even remember how to do it.
Is that percentage for the stabilizing roll? It was 10%, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, let me check to be sure.
Ignore the +2. That was for my planned charge attack.
I think we should set a rule that John is not allowed to taunt from now on. I haven't seen this many criticals on enemies in a while.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they're bazooka rangers. What do you expect, man?
And Brandon, did you somehow manage to translate the cursed dice of the ex-wife to Fantasy Grounds?
No. No, I didn't. Okay, so yeah, you have a 10% chance to stabilize. You don't stabilize, so you'll go down to
33 or -2.
33. Yeah. Okay.
No. Why did you hit Graham?
Um,
Told you that cat was bad news, guys.
wait, what happened?
Saw
The
an
cat
opportunity.
damaged Graham.
Saw an opportunity and he took it.
No, the cat didn't damage Graham. um,
It's right there, plain as day, Brandon.
It is.
Does the turn
Yeah.
tracker automatically apply the
I don't know
per
what
round?
you guys are seeing.
It
looks
says
like it.
turn 2 cat and then damage 1 Graham hero.
The cat didn't do that. I did
Oh, okay.
because he failed his stabilization. So the cat does move over to Graham and start meowing.
Now comes
Rohan.
the coup de grace.
Rohan, your turn.
All right, so from the position of the tower where I was in that I could see versus the position of the towers they were in, it was like 50 feet between where my tower was and the next one. So I'm going to run, ignoring the doors until
Okay.
I get, about 50 feet away, which would be a double move action.
So your speed's 30, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to move down the hallway 60 feet.
Okay. All right. So you see that. There's a doorway on the right, a large double door, and then an open way down. And then further on towards the end of your vision, another door. But the hall seems to continue going on straight.
Okay, so I think my 60-foot move would put me just before I get to those large double doors.
Yeah.
And just before I get to that. So kind of my thinking is that if these towers are somehow connected underneath, then the door on the south side past that intersection would be about where one of their towers would be.
Oh, okay. All right. That your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Fenrith. Or wait,
Wouldn't it be Casimir?
Casimir, sorry.
Same thing as last time, attacking with combat expertise.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Critical hit.
Dang.
Okay, so go ahead and describe how you killed him.
I think one of those 6s would be gone, though, right? Or because that's the stone or earth damage.
Yeah.
So
Well, you'd need it at least. You'd need it once, right? Both of those are the stone damage?
No, the second one's a D8, but the 1/6 is a earth damage.
Oh, I got you.
So it'd be like 28 damage or something.
Well, even so, he's dead as it can get. So go ahead and describe how you kill him.
Yeah, I just skewer him and then kick him off the edge,
All right. Yeah. So off he goes.
and I'll 5 foot to where he was.
All right.
All right. So seeing what happened with Graham, I'm going to grab his backpack, and then that's what, one action?
Yeah.
And then I'll move to there as the second part of that action.
All right. This guy will step back and take a shot at you, Casimir,
All right.
for 9 damage. And then he'll drop his bow, start reaching for his sword. Graham, let's do a stabilization roll. No luck. Yeah, it does do.
So that was just the turn
Do it
tracker.
automatically.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that is cool. So actually, you'd be at 34, not because I did it too. So
No, I think 35 is right.
Time.
When you added the other one, I corrected it down to what it actually was. Because 32 was the original. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Rohan walks over your body. Rohan.
All right, I'm gonna keep my as I go past this intersection, I'm gonna have my bow kind of tracked down there just in case there's enemies as I try and quickly move across that.
Okay. So you see no enemies down there. It branches off in a couple directions. And as you get to where you've put yourself now, you see more of the hallway. but now you can definitely hear to your left through the stone the sound of a lot of orc voices talking. And you can hear the clanging of pots and pans, the shouting of arguments, laughter, all that stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to bypass this first door
Okay.
and keep going down the hall.
All right. Is that where your character is, where you would be? Okay.
Right there is about where I should be able to get to.
All right. So then here you see another door up ahead of you. Looks like the one that you actually came out of on the other side of the hallway.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a good sign.
Okay.
But
Is
yeah,
that the
that's
end
my
of your
turn.
turn?
Yeah,
All
that's as
right.
far as I can get.
Okay, Casimir, your turn now.
I'm going to 5 foot and attempt to trip Ranger 1.
Okay.
So this is a touch attack. Would I get 7? Nah.
Yeah.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay. Fenrith.
So I can make it to Graham, and then, I'll go here. That's 30 feet, and then
Okay.
I'll grab the potion out of the bag.
Okay. Good thinking. All right. Okay. So this guy pulls his sword out and he looks around him and he sees he's surrounded and he gives like a and jumps right over the side.
Okay.
I was going to suggest if he gave up that we just throw him off, so it works out.
Casimir wouldn't have liked that idea. Not once they surrendered.
Okay. So there's no more enemies around. We're back to Graham. So Fenrith comes over and he dumps a potion down Graham's throat, and Graham, you wake up with the familiar feeling of your wounds stitching themselves together as the potion flows through you. And it's when you wake up that you realize what had even happened, and so now you're awake and conscious again. You still feel an irritation, but it's not as bad as it was before you got knocked out. And then the cat's meowing next to you and, rubbing herself against your arm. So that's where you are. This tower in the north, that's the one that has a trap door in it. And that's the only other way out of here you found besides the tower.
So how many rounds does it take them to kind of get Graham up and on his feet?
Well, he would be on his feet the next round. So what do you guys want to do?
Oh, well, Fenris getting Graham up, I'll chug a potion of my own.
Okay.
I have a macro made for it, Chris. Do you want me to? Oh, I see you got it. Never mind.
All right. Yeah, so you heal yourself with the potion.
And I guess I'll start heading towards the tower to the north.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys can make it over there. Rohan.
So the first round, I'll get to the door and I'll crack it open and take a listen to see if there's anything in there.
Okay. Go ahead and roll listen. Okay, so you don't hear anything in there. You still hear the sounds you were hearing before. And as you move past the point where your character is right now, the rest of that stretch, there is an overpowering stench of rot and decay. Not coming from the room you're looking in.
Okay, so
it's not centralized there.
It was one of the doors that I had passed that is kind of catching me.
No, there's no more doors except for the one you're looking in.
Okay.
And it wasn't until you got, about here that you started to smell it. So it's just really overpowering. It's making your eyes sort of water and sort of gag, and you're trying to breathe through your mouth, but it doesn't quite work. Anyway, so you want to peek in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you peek the door open a little bit, you see it looks like the mirror to the room you came down in.
And I don't see any enemies in there?
Nope. Just a ladder going up to a trap door.
Okay, so the next round I'll open the door and cross the room and start heading up the ladder.
Okay. So Casimir, you've reached this trap door. It's not barred or anything. It's got a
Well,
handle on it and a hinge. So
I guess technically I don't want to metagame here. I don't know what's happening with Rohan, so I'll continue past it towards the rope, see if we can get him back here, because I don't even know it was burned, I believe. It's like, no, I know it was burned, huh?
yeah, you
But
do know that it was burned.
I
Well,
didn't
you
know
guys,
that he fleed into the
right?
inners. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'll be kind of heading, and I'll
Okay.
kind of be shouting, Rohan.
Okay. Yeah. So you head over there and you look down. Roll a spot check. Yeah. So all you can see is the light from the fire, and you shout, and you wait for a bit, but you don't hear a response.
Yeah, I'll be having kind of a sinking feeling in my stomach, I guess. And
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, but you do see the other towers that had popped up over.
yeah.
But yeah, you don't. Okay. Fenrith, what do you want to do?
I'll go over and collect the rope and put it back into the bag of holding and ask Casimir if he can see Rohan.
Okay.
No, I can't see much of anything.
So it'll take you about 10 minutes to get that rope sorted because you're going to have to stop and untangle it because ropes left to their own devices will become tangled. And so to roll it all back up, it'll take about 10 minutes.
All right. I guess while Finrith is doing that, I'll keep an eye that way, make sure nothing comes out of the trap door.
Okay.
I think I'll drink my last potion.
Okay. Let's see how much that heals you for. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So yeah, you drink that down. It feels really good as it surges through your body. Now, Rohan.
Okay, I'll just be climbing up the ladder.
All right. So yeah, you got climb up to the ladder and you make it trapdoor. You would have to push it upward to open it, just like the other one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So you push it open and look out, and you can see across the planks there, Casimir standing guard.
I'll
Okay,
throw
do
my
I-
spear at him.
Yeah.
I'm
So there you
gonna
go.
quickly take a look around to see if there are any other orcs, because the last time I heard that there was the sounds of a pretty pitched battle going on.
Yeah. So you cast about and you see corpses, but you don't see any living orcs.
Okay, so I'll call out to Casimir. Is the battle done? Is everyone okay? As I start to crawl my way out of the hole.
Seems to be. I'll kind of look back over my shoulder at where he had been, down on the lower tower. And are these connected, Rohan?
Apparently. So, Brandon, was this ladder like 500 feet taller than the other ladder?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
20
say
feet.
they're connected in some sort of magical way. There's a castle of some sort beneath us.
And what, are there more enemies down below?
I heard the sound of many, many orcs down below.
Okay.
And a horrible stench.
Can we bar the trapdoor from our side?
We could probably lay some corpses on top of it at least.
That was more for Brandon.
No, there's nothing. There's no bar for it on this. No way to bar it. But
I guess we could sleep atop it.
yeah.
Anyway, good to see you return, Rohan.
It's good to see you all well. It sounded like there was quite the combat going on up here.
Yeah, well, as Rohan comes out and stands upon the tower, you can see that he's taken quite a few wounds himself.
I may even still have a few arrows sticking out of me.
Yeah. Well, you probably broke them off, but some of them are still in there. All right. So what do you guys do?
Well, I would suggest we make camp for the night on the northern tower and try to sleep atop the trapdoor to weight it down.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good idea to me.
Yeah, I could definitely use some rest as well.
What
Okay.
say you, Graham?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the plan then.
Yeah.
So, in short order, you guys can get yourselves situated. Now, are you wanting to just lay out your bedrolls, or are you wanting to cook food, or what do you guys want to do?
I think we still have some of that ham that we sliced off of the magic room, don't we?
Yeah, that's been
Mhm.
like what? Not even half a day yet, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still hot. Yeah. Okay. All right. What was the watch order?
Give me just a second. I have it written down.
Yeah, me too.
We have Graham, and then me, then Casimir, and then Rohan.
Were we doing them two at a time after we got our minimal sleep / meditation thing?
Yeah, I think we were doubling up, so I'll stay up with Graham.
All right. So Graham first with Fenrith.
Yeah, and then it would be Casimir and Rohan as the second watch.
But I'm
Okay.
going to enlist Fenris' help in removing the arrows the best we can.
Yeah, when we do that, I can use. I still have my level 0 spells, so I can cure for one point. 4 times? So I can give you 4 hit points back at least.
I think Graham is probably worse off than I am right now, so save those for him. I just need help with a heal check to remove the arrows.
There you go.
Okay. Once those are off, I'll kind of just bandage myself up the best I can.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys, you're gonna do double watches because you don't need a full. Yeah, because you need just the 4 hours for your reverie. So let's see. Yeah. So Fenrith does some light healing magic to Graham, and Graham and Fenrith, you guys will be up while Rohan and Casimir get some sleep. You guys have situated yourselves atop this tower, making sure someone's sleeping directly on that trap door so that you can't be assaulted, at least from that direction. And Graham, it takes you about the entire watch to calm down. The whole time, you're just thinking about the next time you see an orc, or the next time anybody looks at you crossways, you're going to stick them with that dagger, right? You just keep thinking those thoughts, and so your heart rate doesn't lower down to resting, and the whole time you're just agitated.
I'm also. I want to. If Graham will partake, I have those flasks of wine. So if you want some, Graham, I do have some wine. You look a little on edge still, because I know that fight really scared me too. So if you want some, then I'll hand him one of the flasks.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to have some, Graham?
I'll deny it initially. I'll do a lot of pacing, and then I'll reach in my backpack, start to get out my sham, and then narrow my eyes at Casimir while he's sleeping there, and mutter to myself, "Or get mad at me if I play this," thinking it might calm me down. And then I'll put it back. And one thing that kind of calmed me back in the village was messing with knots. So I'll pull out my rope and try that for a little while. And then when that fails, I'll partake with Fenrith in the wine to see if that will knock the edge.
Okay. Yeah, so Fenrith, you can see that your friend he's obviously upset, and he's not calming down. So he's being real fidgety. He's messing with rope. He keeps looking at his sham, but eventually he'll drink some of the wine with you. And when he drinks some of the wine, Graham the cat comes over and sits on your lap, and before you know it, now you're not angry anymore. You don't. There's not a point at which you could have said this is when I became unangry, but you're not. The irritation passes, and you sort of think about the sort of thoughts you were having, and just give like a little shake of the head because it doesn't really feel like you know.
Right.
But the cat sitting in your lap purring contentedly seems to have helped calm you down a bit.
Thanks for saving my life, Fenrith. I owe you one.
Thank you for pointing me towards your bag. 'Cause, I don't know if I don't know where I got the courage to taunt those guys, but that was a really frightening experience.
Yeah, it was a hard fight, wasn't it?
'Cause, I think that it would be a good idea to carry some of these potions a little bit more readily on us in the future, though, because it was very trying just to get dig around in the bags to try and find them. So maybe you can help me come up with something.
Just always hold one in your hand.
That's what Graham does.
I'll look over at my shield and then at my sword. I don't think that I could. And I've got this and then the sword, and maybe just something that where we can access it just a little bit quicker. We'll think of something.
Do you guys, any of you have a craft? What are your crafts?
I'm a jeweler.
Oh, I think I asked you a while back if I could change my craft to be more of a jack of all trades like Justin's, where it was like for crafting things related to being or my station.
Yeah.
And I think you said something along the lines of like that was something that you did have in mind.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine with me. Yeah.
So yeah, like I craft stuff related to my station.
Right. You craft
Yep.
hero items. Yeah. Hero
My
equipment.
craft is technically just a bowmaker. My
Okay.
profession was the jack of all trades.
Yeah. What about you, Graham? Did you have a craft?
No, I just had a perform skill.
Okay. All right. So obviously nothing occurs. The ever-present light breeze never goes away, but it's so constant that eventually you don't even notice it anymore. And the temperature never seems to change. And of course, the light never changes. And so your watch passes without event. And then Rohan and Casimir, they come out of their reverie, take their watch.
Yeah, for the first little bit, I'll sit there and study my book and smoke my pipe. If it came out of the room with me, if the ham did, I'm guessing the pipe and tobacco did too.
Yeah, you still have the pipe.
All right, yeah, so I'll sit there and prepare my spells.
Okay. Rohan?
I haven't used any of my spells, so I won't need to do that. But instead, I'll use the watch to work on Graham's bow and kind of try and chat with Fenrith once he finishes his studying.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make your roll for the bow. See how much progress you make. Oh, you did. Okay. So 18. So what does that mean?
That means I make a little bit of progress, not a whole lot, but I get a little bit closer. So it's probably starting to take shape, look a little bit more like a bow now.
Okay.
Probably not ready to set a string to it, but beginning to actually look like one.
All right. Yeah. So then that time passes without event as well. And
But I did want to ask Casimir about the fight that they had, because they, like, obviously once I got up there, they looked pretty haggard and bloodstained.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
I'll just give Rohan like a real, like, kind of clinical description of the fight. You know.
All right. Yeah. So he just gives you this, this one was here and we did this and this and this, but you can just tell, that it was obviously a fight for their lives, just like yours was.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be concerned about some of the more grievous wounds that I saw on people, and then towards the end say I don't think we should split up anymore. It's too dangerous once we get separated.
Well, it wasn't initially part of the plan, but I agree.
Yeah. So one thought that does pass through all your minds, in the silence of your own heads, is that the clear realization that you could have died. And of course, everybody knows that you can die at any time, and you go into a fight and you could lose and die. But you guys are pretty young, and so the reality of it hasn't quite set in until now. So that's something you'll have to wrestle with in your own ways. That you very well could have died there. Anybody wanted to do anything else?
Nope, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Fenrith and Graham, they pop out of their reverie, and everybody's still sore and aching. Muscles are sore, body aches. There's still some wounds that are, causing a lot of pain, but now it's what would pass for morning.
And we heal our damage like we normally would for resting, right?
Yeah.
That was just, was it one per level?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One type of resting we did?
Yeah.
I was just looking it up because I was wondering on that.
Yeah, 1 point per character level.
All right, so I guess I'll stand up and kind of use my trident to help me. Like I've aged, well, I guess for an elf, like I've aged several hundred years now. But, I've aged about 15 to what we were used to.
Yeah.
All sore. Maybe my voice is still a little hoarse from where I pushed the arrow through.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Like, just because on the character sheet the wounds are gone, it doesn't mean that the effects are on your bodies. So things like what you just said is pretty realistic. And you would still get this phantom feeling of some foreign object stuck in your neck.
Mm-hmm. All right. Are we ready to go?
I'll offer. I have 2 potions of moderate wound left. I'm going to offer one to anyone that needs it, or who used all of theirs.
Did everybody mark their hit points from the night of healing?
Yeah.
I've got to do mine real quick. Okay. I'm good. Yeah, if no one needs it, I'll take one, as I don't have any left.
Yeah, and I'll take one too. Are you going to have any left, Rohan?
No, but as long as you 2 stay in front of me, that shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I guess as long as we're never splitting up again, it will be fine. Thank you.
As I'm going to cast Cure on, let's see, Rohan. Has everybody adjusted their hit points?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say for the most part, on like most of us, if we're not too hurt, just save it for when we, have started taking damage again. Just, power bomb it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with a scar that kind of makes me not look quite so pretty, which is scary considering I have a -2 modifier to my charisma already.
Yeah, we're the ugliest elves ever born.
Hey, I'm turning into Cho'Gath.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I think I'm all ready to go now.
All right. So I have the normal marching order of Graham first, then Rohan and Fenrith in the middle, and Casimir bringing up the rear. Is that how we're going to stick with it?
Yeah, sounds good to me, but I'll look at Graham first to see if he's going to hesitate before going first because of that Minotaur.
Oh yeah.
No, my mood is back to its normal baseline. I'm pretty chipper. Although, Rohan, maybe you should take the lead for a minute. Get us back to what you were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, I'll describe to them what I'd found down in the magic castle that somehow we can't see in the chasm. But yeah, I'll lead them down the ladder and into the hallway, and kind of point out which door I heard all the sounds coming from.
Okay. All right. So as he leads you into the hallway, you should all be able to see now.
Yeah.
As he leads you out into the hall, you smell that overpowering stench of rot and decay and feces and just filth, and that it doesn't cause a game effect, but it's pretty overpowering. And everybody roll listen. Okay, so Rohan and Fenrith, you guys both hear that sound I described to Rohan earlier, the raucous noise of orcs laughing and arguing and cursing and yelling and clanging of pots and pans and sudden hoots of laughter and stuff like that. You guys can hear that from up ahead and off to your right. So you can see a door up there, but before you get to that door, up ahead of you on the left is another door.
So I'll kind of motion for silence and then point to one side and then the other, and then kind of give a shrug to see which direction we want to go. Kind of make that motion towards the rest of the group.
Okay.
I guess I'll motion back, or whisper. Let's just go door to door. No time for thought really on it.
Okay, I'll move up and to that first door and give Graham kind of the go ahead to check it for traps.
Okay.
All right, I'll walk up and look it over.
All right. Okay, so you go look at it and you don't detect any traps on it.
This one looks good, Rohan. Is this where you heard all the orcs?
And I'll point to the door across the hallway and say, that's the door. I hear him.
Yeah, well, now where you are, Grant, for sure, coming through the wall down below. You don't hear anything from above.
Oh, what do you want to do? Just get it over with?
Let's make sure there aren't any reinforcements in any of these other rooms first.
When I said that, Rohan, it was sort of an unconscious action, but I just started to unsheath my dagger a little bit and look expectantly at the door.
So let's try and do this as smart as we can and not kick the beehive.
All right, so I'll. Is that door locked when I go to open it?
Nope.
I'm actually gonna stop him from opening it and motion him back and motion Casimir forward.
All right.
Okay.
Because Graham, you checked it for traps, right?
Yeah, all clear.
Okay.
Never trust a rogue when they say that.
All right. I'll crack the door and take a listen after Graham has kind of stepped behind Casimir.
Okay.
Seeing Graham skewered by a Minotaur has kind of made me fear a little bit more than usual for his safety.
Okay. All right. So you crack the door open. Do a listen. Okay. Yeah, you don't hear anything except for that ever-present breeze that was outside.
Okay. I'll crack the door and look inside.
Yeah, so when you crack it, you can see this way.
And then I'll give Casimir the nod and kind of ready my bow as I wait for him to step through the door.
All right, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
I'll have my trident ready when I do that.
All right. So as you step through the door, you see and you look up, you can see blackness again. So you're outside, and you can see a massive defensive wall rising up into the blackness, and a taller one right behind it. So like an outer and an inner wall, and there's weapon racks against the wall, and a large wooden staircase leads up to the top of the first shorter wall. And in roughly the center of the two staircases, there's a large blood-covered bronze gong. But you don't see any enemies out.
Looks like it's on the castle wall. We're outside, or it's outside, I guess. I don't see anything.
You do see on either side of the gong, next to each of those weapon racks, there's a closed cabinet. But otherwise, you just see the normal spears and axes and bows and stuff.
Okay.
Fan out and search.
Yeah.
What kind of bows were in those?
Well, you can see short bows and long bows, and you can also see bows that looked different, like the Orc Rangers use, that have they're bent forward instead of backward at the ends, and they seem to have some sort of pulley on them or something close to it.
I'll make a note of it, but I'll go inspect the closets or traps.
Okay. All right. The rest of you?
I'll keep watch while my other companions fan out and do their searches.
Yeah, I'll do a search.
Okay. So move yourselves to the area you want to be searching.
I wanted to climb to the top of the wooden staircase and kind of peek to either direction on the wall.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and search. Graham, you're looking at that cabinet there, and Rohan goes walking up that staircase, and let's see where. And Rohan, as soon as you peek around that wall, like the sound, like as you're walking up the staircase, you hear this rustling, and a large, massive head comes into view over the stone wall, looking down at all you. It has thick green skin with scars everywhere. 2 ivory horns protrude from the top of its head. Its eyes are black, except the pupils are bright white, and its teeth are black, and they look sharp. And as it sees you, it roars something in a language none of you understand, and then it points. And then 2 other heads peek over the wall there, and one of them's rubbing sleep out of his eyes. And these are clearly related to the first, though they do look quite different. Their skin is a tan or more tan brown color, and they're covered in warts, and they have ragged, greasy black hair and dull look in their eyes. But they stand up, and these things are huge, by the way. The first one you saw is much bigger than the other 2. And you'd guess he's about 11 feet tall, maybe. And the other 2, about as tall as the Minotaurs you guys have been fighting before.
Man, I had a completely different mental image there. I thought it was poking its head up over the side of the castle where the void is.
That's what I thought. I thought we'd stumbled across some titans.
Yeah, some ancient deity.
No, the first wall. Right. So anyway, he shouts, and those other 2, they roar, and they raise these massive spiked great clubs. And they, let's see, one of them is right here, and just pretend you can't see the bottom part of it. And the other one is on the other side there. And then that first one you saw, he's more in the middle, but he's there. And so this one close to you, Rohan, roars and charges you with his massive club raised overhead. And that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you bet. So, John.
Yes.
Let's see if we can get this figured out. So
This has been a Death Watch production. Thank you for listening.